that was really important for us was developing publication guidelines, so publication and dissemination and authorship guidelines. So that's something that's explicit in our group. We looked over that and decided on it together, and everybody knows what it means to be an author, you know, what kind of work you have to put in. Everybody gets credit for being a part of the work, even if they're not an author, and then if they want to help with the production of the document or the presentation or the poster or whatever it is, then they would then be an author. And we have community partners that have presented, including Chimere was a lead author on a poster just last spring at Community Campus Partnerships for Health. One of our other partners, Chanel B, was a lead author on a poster presented at Academy Health. We've done co-presentations at academic conferences, several academic conferences. But transparency, again, and having those things explicitly stated, I think was the main strategy that we used to address that, because otherwise it does create conflict. And we do try to talk about budgets as much as we can, you know, to make sure that people understand where when we develop grants together, where funds are being allocated and why they're being allocated in that way. I think that that's something that is, you know, it's easy to have that be a point of tension, and I think that that still is a really big challenge, because for us, our partners are embedded within the university rather than being a separate entity, and there's fiscal challenges that go along with that. I personally still don't feel 100% comfortable with that arrangement, and I think that that's an area of growth for us, and it's something that we do talk about.
But also as an institution, you know, we'll talk about this later.
But instead of just saying, oh, it's fine, we've got that covered, I mean, we do try to acknowledge those issues.
I think that when it comes up for us team members that are not like every day directly connected with the university like I am now, but I think when we have a concern or issue in that area, they do a great job, and if they can't answer that question right now and going back to the university and finding an answer, solution, funding source, and getting back to us in a timely manner. The shared leadership is awesome. Even the things that we don't feel comfortable with doing, we're always given the opportunity to do it. Some of us maybe not be a great public speaker, but the opportunity is there. The coaching, the support, the help, the meetings before meetings are great to help people catch up and understand. So none of our team members are patted on the back and rushed into a presentation with a nice poster and said, "This is your script." No, they have worked on this poster, can tell you about the poster. Or whatever we're presenting, we're all given a good opportunity to be at that table from the beginning. I would say through this whole 3 years, I have not really been given anything in the middle of a process. I've always, even if I didn't fully understand it, somebody has always broken it down into terms where it was understandable, so I could not just agree on it, but I can really understand it and be able to move forward and even educate others on what we're doing.
You got to be able to translate. That's just good communication.
We speak a different language sometimes. The community may speak a different language than the university doing. The university, of course, may use language that the community don't. But if you have a little buffer in between there, it makes a conversation go a lot easier.
I think that's why we get along so well, because your language is very different than my language.
Definitely. I think the other side of that, thinking about, when we think about dissemination and the kind of like products and authorship that we want to create, we don't just think about academic publications, because academic publications and poster presentations, so those are important in a way that it brings academic credibility to our partnership. But if we think about, you know, building trust and building credibility for our community partners, that's not the most important thing that we need to do. So when we think about authorship, we think about dissemination, we also think about things like presentations back to the community newsletters, ways that we can get the word out, you know, community events that would help make meaning of our research in a way that's going to be, you know, it's going to be usable for the most impacted audience, for the community where we collect that information. So we think about those things as much as we think about who's going to get their name on this paper or who's going to